And we're back. This is we've got a little break in the rain, which is great. So we're bringing. This is where we have the same morning routine. There's this is a massive park, so we bring Leo down for a big old run and make a coffee and all that jazz. But because normally the workshop doesn't open till either 10 or 12, so there's not heaps we can do. So almost every morning we wake up, come here, run him, make a coffee, go to Bunnings, go to Woolies, and then go to the workshop and get stuck in. Oh man, but I don't know, it's supposed to be pouring down rain right now, but it's been actually just an overcast morning, so hopefully it stays away for a while, because it'll make working today a whole lot easier if it's not terrible weather. So wish us luck. Now I've had a big downpour, so I'm sort of stuck inside for the next little bit, but I've got a few things I got to paint in here, and also planning a few more things as well. Now, you remember the templating thing from last episode? I was too nervous to cut it because it was such a central piece and it was so big. I ended up not cutting it straight away. So the template's done, but I'm going to do it I'm going to test the template on a smaller piece to confirm that will be hidden but very structurally important. So I'm just going to go in and cut the rough part that goes only up to the countertop, so it won't have the top part, but basically it'll be making sure that everything still works, molds around it, and if I do need to make some tweaks I can, so that when it is that big piece it'll be spot on. So I'm just going to quickly go cut that and see if it fits. Alright, for the first go, that's solid. That's really good. This is really good. I'm just getting caught up on this. Also, this is why I should have known. I really should have. I just wasn't thinking. Because it's nitpicky and we needed to use a jigsaw, stupid me forgot that it pulls through. So when the jigsaw goes in and then pulls back up, it often wants to flake off these bits. Thankfully, this is all hidden in the cabinetry, but I'm really glad I made the mistake on this piece and not the big fella that's going over there. So that's looking pretty good, apart from the ugliness. In terms of fitting, that's pretty damn snug. And as before, as I said, sure, I can be square with the floor, but if I've done all my other pieces, or that main piece that I'm then making the cornerstone of everything based on the ceiling, I need to make sure that when looking in this way, that I am going to see nice square shapes when it comes to cutouts of either countertop in line with the overhead storage, in line with another panel that we're going to have going across here. So when it's all said and done, this is all going to be pretty good, and then I'm going to have to fine tune with measuring different points along my piece of timber relative to the ceiling, and then also relative to all the other bits, to make sure that when everything's all together, it'll all be square. But it started raining again. Great. So I'm just going to whack this inside and see what else I can do. Yeah, for a moment, it starts pouring again. So now that I know that I've got that profile nice, I can now make multiple copies of it. There are a couple of modifications to make, but they all come from the same basis of those main pieces that I need to worry about. So then, as you can see here, they're slightly different, but I've managed to use the same template. They've turned out pretty well. Now with more rain, I've decided to head over to working on some aluminium framing. This is what we're going to do essentially half of the bed with, or what we call the bed, let's say. Basically, it's just really light aluminium framing. Not the sturdiest thing. Ideally, you could use some like T-slot bar or whatever it's called, but it's a bit hard to get my hands on, a lot more expensive. Once I use this as a decent frame, and then I've got some plywood making the slats, it should still be really sturdy, as long as I've got a nice resting surface for us to rest on. So cut this all up, hammer in all the little corner joins, and then I'll add the slats later.
Spent the whole morning basically running errands. We got the subfloor put in, we got our fridge, all the really exciting things. It's freezing, by the way, it's so cold.
It is
Big
so
day.
cold.
Big day ahead.
Woo!
We're looking great. No, it's an exciting day. Actually,
Yeah.
an exciting week because the weather's finally not raining, which is amazing.
It's not great, but it's not raining, so we can stand outside.
That's all we can ask for right now. So, big day today. We're finalizing the flooring, cabinetry, finalizing all the measurements now that we're gonna have the wooden floor in there.
Mm-hmm. That's not the finished product, by the way. It's just the actual subfloor.
Yeah.
But then that way it means, you've seen previous episodes that I was measuring cabinets from the ceiling. It means now I can make sure that that all lines up with the final height that we're gonna have for the majority of the build relative to that floor. And then once everything's all done is when we slot in the nice flooring itself. So we don't need it. I personally don't think there's much point in flooring the whole thing to then just cover it all. So what we did with Vance was build everything and then slot it all in at the very end. So all relative to that and the ceiling, and hopefully we don't have too many hiccups.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see.
Alright.
Wow.
Lovely.
Our very first, what is it? Chest fridge.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
It's definitely pros and cons, but in this setup, you can't do a front opening one.
A lot of people do when they have troopies. The troopies don't come out this far. They have them here. But
or if you only have like a wheel arch, the issue is these old ones. They run the whole way along. So
yeah.
Otherwise, you can sort of slip it in there. But we have nothing, so
always got to work around.
Yeah,
the old
weird
guys.
Little shapes, but this should be.
Yeah, and so we're gonna take off these handles. We don't need them.
Yeah, this saves us like 10 centimeters almost in length, which is really good news for me. That was the one concern I had with the corner over there, and then everything else is all the same. So.
Oh my God, it looks so big in here. It looks like it takes up the whole.
It is really big, but it's all measured and planned for. So.
Yeah, I'm keen to get this into position.
Yeah.
So now we are just securing the flooring. Glenn's screwing in through the bottom, and we're not going through the body, but we're actually utilizing the holes that were in there from what were they called, Glenn? Like the
I don't know, it's like just like the little
railings,
luggage rails kind of thing that we did last week or
whatever
that was.
Yeah, last week we took them out, and because of that there were actually heaps of holes that they were pop riveted in. So this is kind of killing two birds with one stone. We're blocking up those holes and securing the subflooring up here. So, yeah, exciting.
Yeah, this is annoying. I'll be here a while, I think.
Where do those go?
This goes there, roughly.
Wow.
This goes here, roughly. And that should be pretty snug in there. And then the last piece we need to check is this big one. Loosely in. Obviously, so I wanted to make the grain all the same, so I'm using this one sheet, but then I'll end up having to cut for then the drawers and the cupboard that's going to go in here. It's supported behind by where the drawers and cupboard will go. And then you'll lift up the counter to get in there. That's going to be Kendall's closet. Well, we'll try and fit everything we can, who knows. Then, it's not exactly done because this will be further in. But we are keeping this corridor quite skinny, because then this is a really nice deep bench seat, and then this will be the front of the kitchenette, so then I'll be able to pull out that much worth of kitchenette, and then again, so I'll be able to pull out one lot here, and then within itself I'll be able to pull out again. So the cooking will be directly behind here, then I'll still have a prep surface that'll pull out another 900 or so long. That'll be more storage for pantry, pots, pans, and prep. And there'll also be another little stainless steel top here to the left of the stove that'll also have prep space as well. And then obviously I'll have to have another side up this side. And then under here is just sort of going to be, we'll still have this lift up storage underneath that, but we'll have another like 10 centimeters or so of depth. So it'll be like shallow, long storage all the way to the end. And then of course, that's going to be cut all the way out, and the bed and bench bed sort of thing will continue that way. But actually come up looking pretty good. Considering I didn't even have the vehicle or the fridge until today, all these parts have slotted in really nicely. And yeah, I gave up on the roof, clearly. I'll be back. Alright, now that's looking more like it. Lovely, lovely. That's feeding all the way to the back there. Here's a kitchenette. This will be over a little more. Just got to figure that out exactly between here. And then along here we're going to have access to gas and water, and also have a point for electrical. A couple of switches that are going to be tucked in here. But it's looking a little more like it. Alright, so I've been putting off that, I'm calling it the mega piece, for quite some time, and now it's sort of, I just got to bite the bullet. The sun is out, but it's still freezing. So I've come to a different park today. It's late. I'm gonna have a coffee, give him a run. We'll come to this one because we're doing laundry today as well. So the makerspace opens at 12, so we've got more time in the morning to run around doing stuff. So take him for a run, have a coffee, do the laundry, and then resume our normal programming. Today, I think I want to try and finalise the exact dimensions of the kitchenette. I mocked it up yesterday, and it all looks pretty good. I just need to make sure that they're all still going to fit within each other without rubbing or without fitting at all. Make a couple of adjustments. I need to finish cutting. Annoyingly, I didn't have enough time to finish the final cuts of the inside of that mega piece, so I've got to finish that off. And then, I don't know, might start mocking up some drawers as well. So we'll see how the day goes. And there's still the cleaning and stuff in the front that we've got to do, but we'll see how we go. Within a box. Woohoo! So this will be the front side of the kitchenette. We're going to go with stainless steel for here, and I'm also going for sheet of aluminium just for the stove to rest on. This will be lift up but super shallow, as you can see there. That way this is also like a prepping station, sanitary, easy to clean, and almost acts as a chopping board. Yeah, this will have aluminium on top, stove sits on top, trying to figure out if I'll have a thin, shallow storage box at the back. Then within that will be this guy, which will also be on slides that will slide out that full length. And we'll go, this is gonna have countertop material on top. And then it's also got a really cool hinge to use as well. I'll go into the ins and outs once I get a bit further along with it. But all in all, I'm so stoked with that. There's enough clearance top and bottom. It's just resting along the bottom at the moment. So I've still got a little bit of wiggle room there, but really, really happy with how it's all coming together.
Looks like a little jigsaw puzzle piece?
Yeah, it's just a massive one.
Wow, it's gonna be snug.
Yeah, it's just lining it up. Oh, that method actually. This to work. Pretty well. Didn't. Oh no, because that doesn't move, does it? You bastard.
Oh, is that the one
This
thing?
bugger. And it's not even a part of once it's in. I just need to
Get it past it.
But I have to
What if
feed
you
it in
went,
this way because of the water.
Okay, round 2. Much better.
Still might not be enough.
Oh, really? So you have that little, like, 1 mil to take off?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. That's the saying, right?
This has been my life for the last week. Maybe this time will be.
It's all part of living in confined spaces, I guess. No wiggle room.
And I don't want to ever get like carried away and just chop off too much. I really want this to be as clean as possible.
Yeah, that kind of is making life
Which
difficult,
means-
but it'll be worth it.
Yeah, which means really, really tiny changes in cuts with the hope that it ends up being super duper snug.
You need to take off more?
Just, yeah, because this
Oh, it's still
house,
not going
the window
full.
sticks out.
Oh,
It needs to
true.
just get past it, so I'm going to need to just take more off and... Oh,
Oh. Alright.
that's in.
Wow.
Stoked.
Frames it so nicely.
Wow, that actually that really looks nice. Bit of a bummer that this side can't be snug like that side, but there's, unless I physically remove the window, I can't actually get this in, so it's the only way I can actually make way for it. But
It's really not that noticeable.
it won't be like,
And plus,
'cause
like,
we'll
the-
have the overhead cabinetry here.
Yeah, and the
And
countertop.
the countertop to, well, it should be, yeah, in line with this roughly. Obviously none of this has been finished, it's all just rough cut. So there's a fair few little bits and pieces that I need to sand back and make really nice, but as a whole, the main thing is that there aren't like super ugly gaps or really weird things going on. And that all these lines are nice and level and square,
Yeah, it looks great.
which, considering all the notches and stuff, I think I've done alright.
A literal jigsaw
Yeah.
puzzle piece.